Namaste, my friend. In these 4 or 5 sessions, as you are progressing, we will focus on these 4 and 5 sessions on how the impure states of the mind causes the delusion, leads to endless suffering. One, and how the pure states of the mind reveals the joy and happiness from within, and that is what you have experienced, that you are sitting calmly and you enjoy that state of peace and calm. But my friend, never leave the practices. The longer one practice, and one practice I will keep it common in these 5 sessions, which is more or less a contemplation and reflection. You can do it with eyes open, you can do it with eyes closed. It's more oriented towards knowledge, understanding, awareness. So, the one that we did last time. So just sit, find out the most comfortable place. You are sitting casually, that is also good. And then position of the body and close your eyes. Or you can even keep the eyes open, but naturally focused on something, some object if your eyes are open. Or if you feel like eyes should be closed, then close your eyes and looking at the neck joint. What we are doing? We are changing our awareness and attention from the world outside to inside. So that is why I say look at the neck joint mentally. Be aware. Look deep inside the neck joint in the space and experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Where is the knowledge part that you are aware? You are leaving the world outside. The mind is leaving the world outside and it is changing the direction to these joints, a reference point. Move the mind on the shoulder joints, be there. Feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Look deep inside the shoulder joint, or means you become aware deeper inside the shoulder joint. That will work. Now look at the entire body. Being aware of the entire body means that you are looking the entire body and then feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. In that state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness, still the unwanted, undesirable thoughts are popping up in the mind. It will pop up. If it is not, it is a deeper state. Maintain that state of awareness. And that is why we have the second step of being carefree. When I told you there is a highway, the traffic is there, highway does not change. Highway is a reference point to say that the traffic is light, traffic is heavy, or traffic jam is there. So our reference point Maybe you are aware of the space inside your forehead and or the heart inside. That is the space inside. And on that space, you find the undesirable thoughts are coming and going. Let them come and go. Watch, feel, observe. All these thoughts and feelings are moving like the traffic on the highway of the space. There are two things. One is the highway. Highway is the space. If there is no space in the mind, how any thought will enter there? So there has to be a space. Are you understanding? Yes. So what happens? You are aware of the space which is separate and the thoughts and feeling separate from the space. That is the meaning. Let the thought come, let the thought go. From where they come, we already understand. They come from the past impressions. Past impression triggers and it pops up, and then we have those thoughts. Let them come, let them go. So in that state, you take a deep, silent, slow breathing. Keep looking into the space inside the forehead. There you are dropping Om Shanti. Mentally, you are verbally, Om Shanti. Sometimes what happens, you are doing something and still many thoughts are going into your mind. So okay, so we introduce a thought of Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti mentally, non-verbally, and at the same time you take a deep, silent, slow breathing inside. While breathing out, you are making the humming sound. You're making the humming sound, you feel the vibes inside the forehead, and where you feel the vibes, you are dropping mentally, non-verbally, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, doing humming sound, and at the same time, you are mentally dropping. What? Mentally dropping Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Why I'm giving you this practice that during the day you can also do it. And it has another application that I will reveal in these 4 or 5 sessions. Continue doing the humming sound, dropping the Om Shanti deep inside your forehead. At the same time, Om Shanti is also going on. So instead of other thoughts, you will get worried that pops up. So instead of other thoughts popping up, you are popping up the thought of Om Shanti, the mantra Om Shanti, Om Shanti. That is non-verbal, but humming sound is also continuing. It's very easy to remember these steps, and you can do it during the day, anytime, anywhere. And now leave this step also, become aware of the entire body, moving the mind on the skin of the body from the top of the head to the toes. Experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The entire sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Now check that the mind is living within, maybe inside the head or the heart. And from there you say Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Mentally you are saying Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, meaning let everyone be happy. Knowledge part, you move the mind to the near and the dear ones and recognize the happiness is their essential nature. So the happiness is the essential nature of everyone, including you. Oh, so happiness is my essential nature also. That is why I'm saying, let everyone be happy. What is the goal of saying this? Goal of saying this that your mind does not enter into the impure states of the mind. You don't get anxious or react to someone. Why? Happiness is their essential nature. Then why they reacted? Because they are not aware of this truth. But you are aware. So you need not to go into anxiety and reaction. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. The same thing, peace for all. First, you recognize peace is your essential nature that is sitting behind the impure mind on a given day and behind the pure mind on a given day. Behind the pure mind on a given day. So the pure mind says, yes, you are already in peace. Why you get worried? But if behind the impure mind, so impure mind takes over you. But it has been happening. You are sitting calmly without doing anything. It is the state of the pure mind that reveals the peace. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness for all. A sense of completeness means the holiness. When I'm complete in myself, should I desire anything outside? No. When I don't desire, then is there any expectation and attachment with the world outside? No. It leaves the mind empty, and that empty mind reveals the wholeness. That is how you need to think. So when you are sitting calmly, it is revealing that wholeness with the joy and the peace. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. So what happens, that auspiciousness is revealed by your mind. That is the reason you have been sitting calmly, doing nothing and enjoying the joy and the peace revealing from within. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We know that 3 times Shanti, 1 Shanti for you, that is your essential nature. The second Shanti is for everything that is known to you, the world of the people, relationship, house, possessions, whatever you know. And third Shanti is to the unknown source, which is yet to be known as the journey of the Eastern wisdom. And now open your eyes, sit in that state of the joy and the calmness. Listen to it attentively so that your mind absorbs the knowledge. All experience takes place in the mind. All experience is good, bad, high, low, joys, sorrow, duality, conflict. Oh, so it doesn't affect me at all? Yes, it doesn't affect you at all. No, but I feel stressed because you identify yourself with the mind. You say that I'm the mind. My goodness. So I'm the mind, which results into the impure states of the mind. You become the impure states of the mind. Don't forget the chain. Where is the chain? The vasana I talked about. Past impression, they are accumulated, or you can say simply it is a conception. Now you wake up in the morning, and then those impressions, along with what you see outside, triggers a reaction, what is we say sankalpa and the vikalpa, means projected, imagined, or projected thought in the feeling, and the sensation pops up. And then we start thinking. When we start thinking, we have a likes and dislikes. Likes and dislikes, keep on thinking. Then you have an attachment. In detachment, you have a desire. And the desire then says desire invites all his friends. All its friends. So what are those friends? 6 enemies. Do you remember? Desire becomes the agitation, or desire may also means expectation or attachment that I have just discussed. So that desire becomes an agitation and stress if it is not fulfilled. The same desire becomes the greed because of projected pleasure I find in an object or a person or a relationship. All the 3 results into delusion. What is delusion? Delusion means what appears true to my mind because of imagined pleasure or pain is not true. But now my mind is already deluded. So desire becomes the hesitation, desire becomes the greed, desire becomes the delusion, desire becomes the pride or ego. And then the ego suffers. You are not suffering. And then what happens? Then it results into hatred and the jealousy. All these six factors of the desire, starting from the vasana, results into impure states of the mind. So it is important to understand the different impure states of the mind, their cause and effect. Why? Why? So that, my friend, so that any time your mind says, I have a guilt, I have anxiety mind, I have strong likes and dislikes mind, so that your intellect reminds you this is the cause, this is the effect, get rid of it. So the impure states of the mind. So let us take the guilt mind, which many times, when we are intelligent, we have a guilt mind. So the guilt mind, a mind burdened by excessive, inappropriate, or unresolved feeling, that becomes the guilt. You have unresolved feeling, you have inappropriate feeling, you feel the burden with excessive, inappropriate feeling. That what becomes the guilt. But why? Because of imagined happiness. Imagined happiness for what? So you imagine happiness to punish yourself because you have a guilt. It is often based on unrealistic expectations of perfection. So the first cause is the imagined. Sankalpa vikalpa means imagined or projected pain or pleasure to punish myself. Often mostly it is based on unrealistic expectations. What is unrealistic expectations? Delusion. Otherwise, the guilt is nothing. If you recognize the delusion, it is gone. So what is the effect now? Results in low self-esteem, anxiety, and difficulty accepting forgiveness or positive experiences, may cause self-sabotaging behavior. And everything is happening in the mind. I have already given you the chain reaction. If you think and start contemplating, reflecting, the guilt has no place in your life. Someone who can't forgive themselves and move on from the past mistakes, leading to chronic guilt. Because I remember the past all the time, particular event associated with the feeling, and then it becomes very difficult to get rid of it. So you simply know it. So now what happened? The vasana is the root cause, and then imagined pain or pleasure, and then imagined pain and pleasure results into of redemption through self-punishment. I want to get rid of this guilt by the self-punishment, creating many thoughts like this. If you so you have to listen to it again and again so you know it clearly. That is the pain point, and I can get rid of this pain point by understanding it. These are the common impure states of the mind that takes over our life in different situations and conditions. Now let us talk of the anxious mind. Anxious mind, that is another impure states of the mind. A mind prone to excessive worry, nervousness, and apprehension about potential threats and negative outcomes. So first see the potential threat, imagined threat, projected threat. So you already have sankalpa vikalpa here. And the negative outcome, that is also a part of the delusion. Anxious mind. So what we experience, excessive worry, nervousness, and apprehension, but I don't see the root cause. So when you don't see the root cause, then you are more concerned. What is the cause? Sankalpa Vikalpa, I told you. Sankalpa projects an illusory sense of control and safety in worrying. Very important point. In anxiety, we project an illusory sense of control and safety. How I project? By getting worried, anxious, nervousness. So I feel that if I remain nervous and worried, I can have enough control over me, which is not true. Why it is not true? What is the factor? Factor is the delusion. See that how clearly you understand them. And when you have a clarity of understanding, you say, no more delusion, no more projection, and the next moment you have a freedom. It leads to chronic stress. So if we continue with anxiety mind, it leads to chronic stress, restlessness, indecisiveness, and avoidance behavior. So then what happens? It impairs peace of mind and ability to be present. Think. So you have to listen to it, think it again, contemplate, and if you have any doubt, no, it is not so. Let me write back to this beard guy. Someone who constantly worries about the worst case scenarios to the point of panic attacks and inability to take action. So I am into the panic attack, which internally my mind, because of the delusion, feels it is a safety wall. But I'm creating problem to myself. Let us take the reactive mind. So we have taken the guilt mind, we have understood. Now let us take the reactive mind. A mind that automatically reacts to external triggers or maybe internal with intense emotion, lacking conscious choice in the. So when you are doing all those practices, it already creates a space. So in that space, you are aware, and that space helps you to give response, not reaction. But it comes by regular practice. So mind automatically reacts. How? Where is the cause? Because I have already the accumulated thoughts. Vasana. And from the vasana, that automatic reaction comes because of the sankalpa and the vikalpa. Sankalpa projects happiness and unhappiness in the external situations, leading to a desire to control them. Reaction, we have an innate feeling to control the situation. So not only sankalpa, delusion, and the ego is also attached here. We have already discussed the 6 enemies. Don't forget that. Desire becomes the hesitation. Desire becomes the greed. Desire becomes the delusion. Desire becomes the ego. Desire becomes the jealousy. So here this reaction to react, involvement of ego. What is the effect? Results in impulsive nature. And we know the impulsive nature is not good. Emotional volatility, difficulty maintaining my calmness and peace. It strains my relationship and impairs decision making. We lash out of anger at the slightest provocation, later regretting reactive behavior. So I regret to myself but I try to hold on and I rationalize that no, it is right. Outside, it causes lot of challenges. What we are doing in this session, we are trying to understand the impure states of the mind, what it is, what is the cause according to the Eastern wisdom, what is the effect. So once you understand everything, it will help you raise your awareness. You are already doing a practice. And even when you are sitting calmly, outside doing nothing, so you recall, you listen to one and then contemplate and reflect. The more reflection is there, what happens? Reflection helps you to release and kill those impressions which may cause you reactive mind. Let us take another money mind. It's very important in modern scenario. So understand what is money mind? An obsessive desire for wealth and possessions, driven by the belief that they will provide lasting happiness and security. Money is important, necessary, but money mind is an impure state of the mind. Are you getting it? Money is a necessity. Wealth is important. But it should not become obsessive desire. So when the moment it becomes an obsessive desire, then there is something happening in the mind. It has already happened. What has happened? That it will provide me happiness and security. As if the money has a property of happiness. Money does not have a property of happiness. If you look at the Bill Gates who has more than $100 billion in his account, or Elon Musk, or Jeff Bezos, or Warren Buffett, or other people. So if the happiness is the property of the wealth, they should have been the happiest people in the world. So what is that delusion? You see that delusion because of the money mind. So what happens again? Because of the vasana, past impressions accumulated already there. So when my mind goes outside, so it triggers. So the sankalpa is there. The sankalpa creates an imagined happiness in material abundance, in possessions, leading to a strong craving. Because internally my mind is looking for happiness. Internally and externally, I am obsession. I have an obsession for the money. Are you understanding? Externally, I have an obsession for the wealth. But internally, the mind is constantly triggering me, attacking me. Come on, you will. Money is the property of happiness. Money has the property of happiness. So when those thoughts, you have to understand, when those thought enters into your mind, you have to say to yourself, money does not have a property of happiness. Happiness is not the property of wealth or the money. So what happens now? You see that. So when a slide you lost, say $5, it leads to frustration. It is important. I must find out. It's very important if it is lost. But I should not. It should not made me worry. Okay, let me find out calmly. So if money mind, those people who have the money mind during the waking state, it leads to greed, workaholism. They neglect relationship and ethics. They start using the other unfair means for personal gain, and that keeps them suffering. You see that? So if you see the relationship, the vasana, I'm simply saying vasana, sankalpa, vikalpa, and then imagined happiness, it results to greed and the ego. And once I understand that the happiness is not the property of money or anything in the world. So let us take another impure states of the mind is the strong likes and dislikes mind. We normally express, no, I like this, I hate this. Don't use these words without understanding. So what does it mean? A mind that is controlled by personal preferences, or you can say a mind controlled by strong attachment and aversion, both. Aversion to certain things and attachment to certain things, leading to biased and discriminatory behavior. It expresses in the form of my behavior. Never express what you like and what you dislike. To have a like and dislike in the world is normal, but it should not reach to a point of no return. It should not cause any form of reaction. Where is the cause? Sankalpa and the Vikalpa projects the happiness, or it projects pain onto the sensory pleasures and subjective preferences. I have strong preferences because I'm attached to it. You need not to talk about this in the world, and you have to understand deeper inside why I have a strong attachment or detachment. Does this strong attachment is really giving me the happiness from the object, or aversion? Does it really help me calm down? No. So what is the result? The impure states of bias prejudice and being driven by fleeting emotions rather than wisdom and fairness. So the wisdom is lost. Clarity is lost in the mind, which results into strong likes and dislikes, and it causes discriminatory behavior and attitude in our daily life, and which is not at all required for the sake of preferences and prejudices. You have to write to me which are the impure states of the mind is causing you the trouble. And after the 5 sessions, I will take up that issue. But first 4 and 5 lessons are very important. So let us go to another impure states of the mind. And if you have in your mind that any impure states of the mind which I'm not explaining to you, write back to me. A rationalizing mind. That is also the impure states of the mind. Reasoning mind. The reasoning mind always wants to know the cause and effect. The rationalizing mind, I say this is right. My way is the only way. You see, my way is the only way. So the tendency to justify and make excuses for bad habits or good habits, unethical behavior, and avoiding responsibility. So when I rationalize this is the only way, this is right, I'm avoiding responsibility, not looking deeper. Sometimes people have the unethical behavior or it develops the bad habit. And then I keep on thinking, where is the cause? Sankalpa Vikalpa imagines happiness. I discussed in detail about the Sankalpa Vikalpa. So you have to go If you don't pick up, you have to go to the previous lesson. Sankalpa imagines happiness in giving into negative tendencies. Rationalizing mind often giving into negative tendencies. And when you're giving in to the negative tendencies, it generates desire to rationalize these actions instead of acknowledging their negative effect. So when my mind does not recognize the negative impact of it, and I keep on rationalizing, I keep on saying that I'm right, instead of going into the cause and effect, it results into rationalizing mind. It's a very negative, reactive. Often we get frustrated. Look at the people who are taking unhealthy food. Why? Because my mind rationalizes imagined happiness there. One, and I also deny inevitable health consequences. And then the sugar becomes the poison. Sugar is not a poison. You see how rationalized? So we have many phrases in the words that we use by the rationalizing mind. Let us go to another impure, grandiose mind, grandiose. An inflated sense of self-importance and superiority than others. Driven by, how it is driven by desire for admiration and status. So I'm seeking admiration and status from you, from everyone in the society. So I build an inflated sense of self-importance. Sankalpa, what is the cause? The Sankalpa projects an imaginary happiness in being better than others. Do you see that? Why I have to see? You are the best person in the world. Let me take care of myself. I'm also a good person. You have to look inside. I'm a good person. That's enough. I'm nice. I'm calm. I'm relaxed. Instead of comparing imaginary happiness in being better than others, leading to craving. Craving for what? Craving for recognition and dominance. There is, and when you are seeking an approval, there is certain level of craving to recognition and dominance. What is the effect? Pride, arrogance, inability to accept feedback, damages your relationship and stunts the personal growth. Think. I'm not saying that what I'm saying is always right, but if you think, you will come to the same conclusion. And I'm not teaching from my own knowledge coming from the masters in Eastern wisdom. Monkey mind is also an impure mind. We talk about the monkey mind, but we have to understand it in detail and deeply. A restless, unfocused state of the mind that constantly seeks novelty and distractions. Means the mind that is seeking a distraction is monkey mind. The mind that is seeking a novelty. No, I like this. No, I like this. No, I like this. I like this. Unconsciously, subconsciously, habitually. That is why we have a monkey mind. So what happens after that? After maybe a few weeks and months, we don't recognize I have a restless mind, and it becomes the part of my personality. So again, you see the sankalpa and the vikalpa imagines a happiness in short-term pleasures and stimulations. short-term pleasure and stimulation. It generates the scattered monkey mind. By seeking short-term pleasure in many, many things, I have to consciously pick up my mind and my habit. So what happens? Now, what is the effect? It impairs your focus and concentration. It impairs your work performance. It impairs your communication. It impairs your relationship. And it also restricts you to understand deeply what is peace and calmness of the mind. Well, insight. I don't want to tell you the name of the doc who is a primary physician for me. So she took the blood samples and then she sent me an alarming signal of certain problems. I went directly to the doctor and said, "How dare you say that? You are misdiagnosing." So she asked me why. I said, "I'm doing very good. I have a state of physical well-being." And either you do it honestly, the second test of the blood, or I will get it done from others. So she looked at me and she said, "Okay, let's have a second blood test." And everything was perfectly normal. So it means there was some misdiagnosing. "I'm doing fine. How can you say that I have this problem?" This is one of the result of the monkey mind. I'm just telling you, we are not dogs, so it's okay. Sheep mind. Another problem of the sheep mind. Sheep mind is very, very dangerous. And it is also comes under the category of impure states of the mind. So the sheep mind, the tendency to confirm and follow the herd without independent critical thinking. I'm intelligent, we are over 65, so I did not develop a sense of critical thinking, analyzing particular thing, and which result then, if I don't have that ability, then what happens? I start confirming, what is the pattern of the society, and then I say I'm okay. No, I should not follow the sheep mind. It is the impure states of the mind causes a lot of problems. So Sankalpa projects happiness in being accepted and belonging to a group. Because society says this, it does not mean it is always right. I have to look into it. There's 34 years old young guy who told me that, I feel frustrated. I said, why? I come every day after work and I sit in meditation, and every Friday my friends calls me and says, "What the crazy guy, you are sitting at your home, come and have a beer and couple of the drinks, and we'll spend our night until midnight." But I'm not going there and I'm frustrated. Even my dad says that, "Why the heck you are sitting alone?" Do you see sheep mind? He did not submit to their request. I said, "You did the right thing." It is not that I'm saying, but you find out. You are in a pub taking beers. You leave the pub at the midnight. You cannot drive, but still you are driving. You return home. And second scenario, you're sitting at your home doing your meditation, relaxing, contemplation, and reflection. Which one is better? One, you follow the sheep mind, another, think of this. So everyone confirms because of the fear, maybe because of the anxiety, maybe because of the inferiority. No, we need not to do that. You have to check and you have to find out where the sheep mind is attacking you. You have to get rid of it. That is what we are working on. Sheep mind, upset mind. There is another, normally people say that I'm upset. So, what is this upset mind? A state of being easily disturbed, frustrated, or agitated by the external circumstances. Anything happens in the world. My AC went off. So then I called the expert, but I had already thought of inviting at least 5 different technicians to diagnose, even if it takes $200 to $300. I wanted to know clearly where is the problem. You'll be surprised. The one technician says you have to spend $30,000. Other says $25,000. Third says $20,000. Fourth says it's a leaking. The gas is leaking. I have to change the coil. It will take $2,000. Are you confused? No, I'm not confused. And the fifth one took $250. He checked the leak and finished it. Everything is working fine. Upset mind. I should not get upset on anything that happens outside. Anything can break up. Your faucet cannot work. For example, the next day I wake up in the morning, I have a pain in the knees, and then I realize that, oh, it is because of this. I should not get it. But because of the aging process, anything can happen. Why should I get upset? So, effect of this upset mind is a frequent anger, frequent frustration, impatience, loss of temper over the minor inconveniences. We get upset over minor inconveniences, impairs relationship and mental peace. Remember this. It's very important to understand all these. Let us also understand, which is very common, the fear mind is also the impure states of the mind. We categorize them. Fear mind, a mind controlled by irrational circumstance, irrational. There is no reason. And there is no reason, but those thoughts are constantly popping up, and irrational fear, anxiety, and phobias, which causes the fear. One guy called me, I'm totally frustrated. I have a lot of fears. I said, what happened? You are very well built, 6 feet 5 inches. You have 6 abs. Oh, that is the problem. Mind is stronger than body. You have to develop not only 6 but 8 abs of the mind also. That is what we are doing. So you see, the mind controlled by irrational fears even make the strongest body full of fear and anxiety. Fear mind. So it is because of the sankalpa imagines threats and projects happiness in avoiding fearful situations. First, it imagines threat and projects happiness in avoiding fearful situations. Are you understanding? I'm repeating again. It imagines the threats. First, it imagines the threat. Now, that is a part of the delusion. Now I see that I'm in a delusion, I have a lot of the threat. And now I want to avoid this threat, which is a part of the delusion, causes the fearful situations. Leads to impure states of paranoia, avoidance behavior, impairs your growth, There are many other, impure. I have taken the major. What are the major impure states of the mind that affects our daily living? There is a biased mind also. The word is the biased mind, a mind prejudiced and partial in its judgment, perception, and behavior. So, in my judgment, my perception, my behavior is partial. I don't know too much. I don't want to know too much. Both in relationship to the sun. Last year you told me. Do you remember? I remember that. No, we should not have a biased mind. Then, do you remember that I told you invite him, offer him the breakfast, tea, coffee? Thank you. Thank you, my son. Now you have a time to go. So, what happens in this biased mind, the sankalpa projects an imaginary happiness, invalidating one's existing belief and preferences, creating a desire to affirm biases. Effect: result is discrimination, unfairness, and close mindedness. It prevents growth. Mood swing mind. There is another common mood swing mind. Mood swing mind. A mind that is prone to frequent and extreme shift. Prone to frequent and extreme shift in emotional state without any apparent reason. There is no solid reason, but my mood changes. I'm upset with you. Why you're upset with me? You see that? These are the impure states of the mind. So why happen? Because I imagine happiness and unhappiness in response to ever-changing external situation and thoughts, creating a desire to rise and fall with them. You have to listen to it again and again. Results in emotional volatility, instability in relationship, and pursuits and a lack of inner equilibrium. And it results into a lot of challenges. Someone whose mood shifts rapidly from elation to despair based on small triggers throughout the day. You have a small trigger, you have some discomfort in the knee, and the mind makes it so big. I'm referring you to, so you have to maintain. Yeah, there are, let us take also, which we have discussed earlier, the depressed mind. Mind sunk in persistent feeling of sadness, hopelessness, worthlessness, and apathy. And once you recognize any of your friends near and the dear ones are guided by these feelings of sadness, hopefulness, worthfulness, apathy, you have to be very careful. Even it is the dearest and the nearest to you. You listen to them, but maintain your awareness and attention not to allow those thoughts to enter into your head. Otherwise, what is the cause? The sankalpa vikalpa. Vasana sankalpa vikalpa will always come there. So that sankalpa vikalpa projects an illusory permanence and identity with a negative thought. I accept the negative thought. When I accept the negative thought, it gets associated with an emotion. It gives rise me to a different set of feeling. And then, why can you figure out? Because of the delusion, because of the greed, because of the ego. Then what happens? No motivation. It impairs my relationship. It leads to isolation. And in severe cases, it results into self-harm. What we have done today, we have understood what are the common impure states of the mind. Why we have understood it, that any time they enter into your life, you have to diagnose. How? Self-diagnosis. How? By understanding the definition, then cause and effect, then relate, then understanding it comes mostly from vasana, sankalpa, vikalpa, attachment, detachment, and then the desire plus the six enemies. You have to figure out all these. You simply contemplate and reflect, oh, these are the causes and effect. While you start finding the cause and effect, 80% of these problems will dissolve. Next time we will understand what are the pure states of the mind, so that you will understand how the meditation leads you to the pure states of the mind, or how the knowledge helps you to reveal those pure states of the mind without doing anything. Thank you, my friend.